Hello and welcome to From Digital to D&D. In this series, some random guy on the internet tries to take a character from fiction and attempts to turn them into a usable stat block for you to use in your games of Dungeons & Dragons. For those of you unaware, each episode of this series will be broken down into the following sections. The character introduction, where I attempt to explain the background of the character. The feature breakdown, where I point out what aspect of the character I'll be attempting to convert. The stat block, where I show off the monsters sheet and explain how it works and how to use it. And finally, the plot hooks, where I explain possible uses for the character in your games of D&D. Naturally, any character that features in this series belongs to their respective owners. Today, we're going to look at a popular villain from the Kung Fu Panda series owned by DreamWorks. We're going to find out if we have a worthy opponent with Tai Lung.
Guys, I know about Tai Lung. He was a student, the first ever to master the 1,000 scrolls of Kung Fu. And then he turned bad and now he's in jail.
I rotted in jail for 20 years because of your weakness.
Obeying your master is not weakness.
You knew I was the Dragon Warrior.
You always knew.
But when Oogway said otherwise, what did you do? What did you do? Nothing.
You were not meant to be the Dragon Warrior. That was not my fault.
Not your fault. Who filled my head with green? Who drove me to train until my bones cracked? Who denied me my destiny? What I ever did, I did to make you proud. Tell me how proud you are, Shifu. Tell me. Tell me.
I have had a vision. Tai Lung will return.
Tai Lung is the primary antagonist of the first Kung Fu Panda movie. He was found abandoned as a cub outside the Jade Palace by Master Shifu, who took him in as his son. Growing up, Tai Lung showed a natural talent for Kung Fu and was soon taught the martial art. The young cub was a prodigy, and his father told him that he was destined for greatness and that he would become the Dragon Warrior and learn the secrets of the Dragon Scroll. Tai Lung put everything he had into his training, mastering the leopard style of Kung Fu as well as various special techniques, even mastering all of the 1,000 scrolls of Kung Fu. This incredible talent for Kung Fu and constant blind love from Master Shifu resulted in Tai Lung becoming proud and overconfident. This revealed his overwhelming pride and lust for power, and caused Master Oogway to reject him as the Dragon Warrior, as he saw the darkness in his heart. Upon his rejection by Master Oogway and lack of support from Master Shifu, Tai Lung went on a furious rampage, laying waste to the town below the Jade Palace. He turned his fury towards the palace and tried to take the Dragon Scroll by force. Whilst his father hesitated to fight back, Tai Lung did not, and knocked Master Shifu aside. Tai Lung was only stopped by Master Oogway himself, who knocked him unconscious with a quick series of chi-based pressure point jabs. Tai Lung would be imprisoned for his crimes and locked deep within the specially constructed Chongon prison, which was made to hold Tai Lung specifically. Tai Lung remained in that prison for the next 20 years, where his rage would only grow. In a self-fulfilling act, Master Shifu sent a messenger to warn the guards to double the defences, but in doing so, gave Tai Lung the means to break free. Using only the feather of the messenger, Tai Lung released the acupuncture needles on his restraining shell and broke free. From there, he fought his way up through the prison, clearing every obstacle in his path and escaping. He immediately began to travel back to the Jade Palace, during which he would learn that the Dragon Warrior had been chosen. As he passed through the Thread of Hope, a rope bridge which served as the only way through the mountain path, Tai Lung encountered the Furious Five. An intense fight broke out on the bridge, which the Five managed to win, sending Tai Lung crashing down the mountain. This was not the end, however, as Tai Lung managed to fling himself to the other side, where he unveiled his most dangerous technique, his nerve attack. He quickly disabled the Five and sent them back to the Jade Palace as a threat. Not too long after, Tai Lung reached the Jade Palace, where he was confronted by Master Shifu, the two engaging in a duel. Though he fought hard, Master Shifu lost the fight, and his attempt to reach his son fell on vengeful ears. Before he could kill his father, the real Dragon Warrior arrived and challenged Tai Lung to take the Dragon Scroll from his hands. Po and Tai Lung began their fight, where Po's unorthodox method of kung fu allowed him to keep pace with and even excel over Tai Lung until the snow leopard managed to slam Po to the ground. With Po defeated, Tai Lung moved for his prize, but was confused when he saw that the scroll he dedicated his life to was blank. The Dragon Warrior tried to explain the meaning behind the Dragon Scroll's power, but an enraged Tai Lung tried to defeat Po with the nerve attack. Due to his physiology, Po was only tickled by the attack, which drove Tai Lung into a frenzy. The fight began again, with Po now dominating Tai Lung, and ending with Tai Lung being launched into the sky. Moments later, he came crashing back down, and though weakened, he still tried to defeat Po. His attempt was caught by the panda, who used the Wuxi finger hold to banish Tai Lung to the spirit realm. Though Tai Lung was defeated, his story did not end there. Within the spirit realm, Tai Lung came into conflict with the spirit warrior Kai, who stole Tai Lung's chi and trapped him in a jade amulet. Tai Lung would be freed from this with Kai's defeat, though he would remain trapped in the spirit realm. Now, spoilers for the fourth movie, as that is still coming out in some places at the time of recording. Skip to the next section if you want to avoid spoilers. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Many years later, Tai Lung took to meditation and self-reflection whilst within the spirit realm. His dislike of Po had grown as he viewed him as unworthy of Master Oogway's favour, and unworthy being the Dragon Warrior. Tai Lung was summoned by the Chameleon back to the mortal realm, where the shape-shifting sorcerer stole Tai Lung's strength and kung fu prowess. Now imprisoned by the Chameleon, Tai Lung would beat Po again, who promised to help him, though Tai Lung still doubted the panda. When the Chameleon fell by Po's hand, Tai Lung's strength and prowess were returned, and he showed the Dragon Warrior respect before returning to the spirit world, with the Chameleon as his prisoner. Tai Lung's life is a story of how pride could be one's undoing. Had he not let his own lust for power overtake him, he would have become one of the greatest masters of kung fu in history. Though it would appear his time in banishment has humbled him slightly, history will only remember Tai Lung for his evil acts. Tai Lung is an anthropomorphic snow leopard, which allows him access to some of the natural weapons real snow leopards have, such as claws. His greatest asset is his mastery over the leopard kung fu style, which focuses on speed and angular attacks. The style is more about relying on speed and outsmarting your opponent. Whilst this is Tai Lung's primary fighting style, he has also incorporated other forms of kung fu into his fighting style. He was taught almost every technique and form Master Shifu knew, who had trained under Master Oogway himself. Add the 1,000 scrolls of kung fu and Tai Lung's martial prowess is nearly unmatched. He is highly adaptable in combat, able to survey and use his environment to aid him. We see several instances of this during the prison escape, as he had to use whatever he could to climb. He used the enlarged crossbow bolts as platforms to climb the walls before using the Soul Elevator platform as a shield from a rain of arrows. He then used the chain of the elevator to fling himself higher before leaping from bridge to bridge. When the guards tried to collapse the prison on him, Tai Lung was able to reach the last bit of dynamite and hurl it at his captors. His resourcefulness is incredible. Another example being when he used the fire of candles at the Jade Palace to ignite his palms. His agility and strength are also incredible, as he can leap great distances and land without a scratch. Tai Lung has shown impeccable balance during his fight with the Furious Five on the bridge, able to keep himself balanced and fighting with just one limb holding him on. And after that fight, we saw that if his martial arts aren't enough, he can use his nerve attack to disable a foe, rendering them helpless. Tai Lung only has 2 weaknesses. The first is his lust for power and pride. He sees others as beneath him, seeing the Furious Five as not worthy of him. But when hearing about Po,
Finally, a worthy opponent. Our battle will be legendary.
During his fight with Po, he constantly underestimates the panda and isn't prepared for Po's unique style of kung fu. Even when he starts to take Po more seriously, he believes it to be due to the power of the Dragon Scroll. His other weakness is his lack of chi abilities. Though Tai Lung has a few Qi-based techniques such as his nerve attack, he is far from a master of Qi. This allowed the spirit warrior Kai to defeat him in the spirit realm, as Kai could only be hurt by Qi-based attacks. It is also how Master Oogway was able to defeat Tai Lung so easily, as Oogway's version of the nerve attack was far faster and powerful, knocking Tai Lung out in a few moments. Despite this weakness, Tai Lung could almost certainly take on any other opponent, as Masters of Qi are few and far between. I love the Kung Fu Panda series, and Tai Lung is part of the reason why. I was excited to see him return in the 4th movie, and thought now would be a good time to give him a sheet. Like always, feel free to check this out at your own pace, but I'll start making my way through it now and explain each aspect to you. Tai Lung is a medium humanoid tabaxi. Out of the feline races in D&D, I felt Tai Lung and his abilities better line up with what a tabaxi could do rather than a Leonin. This also lets you implement him a bit more easily. He's neutral evil, but I must admit I had a hard time placing Tai Lung in an alignment. A point could be made for neutrality, as he only cares about power, but given his methods and actions, I believe neutral evil to be the most fitting. Tai Lung has an armor class of 19, which comes from his unarmored defense. He has an average of 158 hit points with 20 d8 hit dice and a constitution bonus of 68. Tai Lung has a walking speed of 40 feet and a climbing speed of 40 feet, though they are both increased to 50 feet with the Long Strider spell. Moving on to stats, Tai Lung has the following: 22 strength, 18 dexterity, 20 constitution, 16 intelligence, 20 wisdom, and 16 charisma. He has a plus 10 to strength saving throws, plus 8 to dexterity saving throws, plus 7 to intelligence saving throws, and plus 9 to wisdom saving throws. Tai Lung has plus 8 to acrobatics checks, plus 10 to athletics checks, plus 9 to perception checks, and plus 8 to stealth checks. As a tabaxi, Tai Lung has dark vision out to 60 feet, and also has a passive perception of 19. From what I've seen, everyone in the Kung Fu Panda series speaks the same language, which is likely a form of Chinese since it takes place in China. So, Tai Lung only knows common. As the failed dragon warrior, Tai Lung has a challenge rating of 12. Moving on to traits, Tai Lung has evasion. When Tai Lung makes a dexterity saving throw where the result would normally be half damage on a success, he takes no damage on a success and half damage on a failure. Feline agility is a special trait from being a tabaxi, but one that fits Tai Lung very well. When Tai Lung moves during his turn, he can choose to double his speed until the end of his turn. The caveat is that he has to not move for a turn to recharge this trait. Given the only cost to this trait is its recharge, Tai Lung can cover great distances during his turn, having a potential 200 feet if he has Long Strider and uses the dash action. Next up is Legendary Resistance, which lets Tai Lung succeed on a saving throw he fails, which he can use 3 times a day. Perfect Balance gives Tai Lung advantage on saving throws against being pushed or knocked prone. I added this one as it requires incredible balance and strength to balance on a rope, let alone fight on it. Tai Lung's last trait is Unarmored Defense, which lets him add his Wisdom modifier to his AC whilst he isn't wearing armor. Next up are actions, and Tai Lung's first action is Multi-Attack. This lets Tai Lung make 3 attacks, which can be claw attacks, unarmed strike attacks, or a combination of the 2. Claw is a melee weapon attack with plus 10 to hit against one target within 5 feet. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 plus 6 slashing damage. To reflect his martial prowess, a special effect kicks in if Tai Lung hits the same target with this attack twice during the same turn. If they are hit twice, the target has disadvantage on its next ability check, attack roll, or saving throw. Unarmed Strike is a melee weapon attack with a plus 10 to hit against one target within 5 feet of Tai Lung. On a hit, the target takes 2d10 plus 6 bludgeoning damage. This one also has a special effect if the same target is hit twice in one turn by this attack. Tai Lung can choose to remove the target's ability to use reactions until the end of Tai Lung's next turn, or he can push it 10 feet away from him. Tai Lung's next action is Improvised Projectile. This is meant to reflect Tai Lung's ability to use almost anything he can as a projectile. Think of how he used the enlarged crossbow bolts, or when he threw several swords at Master Shifu. This ranged weapon attack has a plus 10 to hit against one target within 30 feet, or a further range of 60 feet. On a hit, the target takes 3d6 plus 6 damage. The type of damage is dependent on whatever is most appropriate between bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. If Tai Lung threw a rock, for example, that would be bludgeoning, whereas a thrown sword might be piercing. Next up is Leopard Speed, which lets Tai Lung cast Long Strider or jump on himself without requiring any components. That means it can't be counterspelled. As a reminder, Long Strider adds 10 feet to your movement speeds, and jump triples your jump distance. For those curious, Tai Lung's normal jump height is 22 feet horizontally and 9 feet vertically with a running start. With the spell active, it becomes 66 feet horizontally and 27 feet vertically with a running start. Tai Lung has shown the ability to leap some incredible distances. The next action is Dark Mastery, which has a recharge roll of 5 to 6 and lets Tai Lung use one of the following special kung fu techniques. The first option is Flaming Strikes. This lets Tai Lung ignite his hands and use his multi-attack action. Each attack Tai Lung hits in this way deals an additional 2d6 fire damage. Tai Lung's other option is Nerve Strike. Tai Lung strikes a creature within 5 feet near its heart, forcing it to make a DC 17 Constitution saving throw. On success, nothing happens. On a failure, the creature is paralyzed indefinitely. It can repeat the saving throw every hour, ending it on a success. A creature can also end the effect by making a successful DC 17 medicine check. This is a highly dangerous action, as the paralyzed condition is one of the most dangerous in 5th edition. As a reminder, a paralyzed creature is incapacitated and can't move or speak. It automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against them have advantage, and any attack that hits the creature within 5 feet is a critical hit, meaning double damage. Practice your medicine and prepare lesser restoration if Tai Lung uses this technique. We now move on to bonus actions, and Tai Lung has one, Martial Strike. If Tai Lung has made a claw or unarmed strike during his turn, he can make a one claw or unarmed strike attack. Reactions are up next, and Tai Lung has 2 unique options. Deflect Missile can kick in when Tai Lung is hit by a ranged weapon attack. Tai Lung reduces the damage taken by 1d10 plus 10 points, and if he reduces the damage to 0, he can make an improvised projectile attack against the attacker. Tai Lung's other option is Masterful Landing, which can kick in when Tai Lung takes damage from falling. Tai Lung can simply reduce the damage taken by 60 points. We see Tai Lung land from great heights with no issue, but launching him above the clouds was too great a height for him. Finally, we come to the last section, Legendary Actions. Tai Lung can take a legendary action at the end of another creature's turn. He has 3 legendary actions and regains any expended ones at the start of his turn. Sprint is Tai Lung's first legendary action, which lets him move up to his full movement speed. Strike lets Tai Lung make one claw or unarmed strike attack. Next is Super Kick, which costs 2 legendary actions to use. Tai Lung jumps into the air a number of feet equal to his movement speed towards one creature within that range. He then makes one unarmed strike against the creature and lands in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the creature without taking damage from the fall. If Tai Lung hits the target, it takes the normal damage from the unarmed strike, but is also knocked prone and suffers an extra 1d6 bludgeoning damage for every 10 feet Tai Lung travelled during his jump. The maximum additional damage is 10d6, but Tai Lung can deal around 4d6 to 5d6, depending on how far he leaped. Next up is Toss, which costs 2 legendary actions. This lets Tai Lung make one improvised projectile attack. Tai Lung's final legendary action is Rapid Mastery, which costs 3 legendary actions to use. This legendary action allows Tai Lung to recharge and use the Dark Mastery action. That concludes the sheet, but now we can move on to the ways you could use Tai Lung. Tai Lung is an interesting character in terms of how you can use him in a campaign. The simplest way is to have him serve as the primary threat of the story, like how he does in the first movie. Tai Lung is spoken of with fear by everyone else in the story before we even see him. This technique can be applied just as easily to your games. Having an NPC speak of a villain like Tai Lung is effective, but I think we can use another aspect. When Tai Lung is mentioned by the Furies 5, Poe states that he knows of him. Perhaps if Tai Lung or a different villain comes up in your game, you could have one of your players actually already know of them. The idea of Tai Lung escaping sends shivers of fear down great masters like Master Shifu. and his actual escape puts the whole palace on high alert. You could have your BBEG not be active at the start of your game and maybe even be neutralized already. The party could focus on more manageable threats until they get to around the midpoint, when news of the real threat returning reaches their ears. As for Tai Lung himself, a truly masterful martial artist could actually be a rather unique threat to the party. Most big bads are giant monsters or great spellcasters. Under the martial prowess, Tai Lung is just a person. He can still pose a great threat as a singular being as he defeats anyone put before him. Remember, Tai Lung only lost to the father of Kung Fu and the Dragon Warrior. He beat everyone else without taking too much damage. Of course, his banishment could also open some interesting plot hooks. If you just want to use Tai Lung for a single instance, you could have him assault the party whilst they are travelling in a different plane, such as the Shadowfell or a different realm of souls. I imagine Tai Lung spent a long time trying to find a way out. Tai Lung's motivation is a simple but effective one. He believes he deserves the great power that he was told was rightfully his. Think about it. Tai Lung spent his whole life training, sometimes to the point where his bones cracked, and in his eyes, it was for nothing. He was denied everything he worked towards. I think most people would be furious in the same situation, but let's talk about using Tai Lung or someone like him in a fight. Tai Lung thrives in close combat. In the few instances he used a ranged projectile, it was actually to give him a window to land a strike. His fast and aggressive form of Kung Fu lets him handle multiple opponents. On average, Tai Lung can make 7 attacks during one round. With a plus 10 to hit, he's probably going to be landing hits fairly often. And that's not mentioning the debuffs he could apply during his turn with his attacks. Tai Lung seems to almost take delight in actually fighting his opponent, a fact that can be seen with how he only uses the nerve strike when he's on the back foot. In combat, have Tai Lung toy with the party, and only when he thinks there might actually be a threat will he use his more dangerous techniques. There are only a few ways to more easily deal with Tai Lung, and that is targeting his constitution and charisma saves. Most banishing effects use charisma, and that's how Tai Lung was eventually defeated. He also lacks any real options against attack spells. Tai Lung's tactical nature also means you can't just let him wail on the tank. He's highly adaptable and finds a way to use the environment to his advantage. I would recommend really building up the need to prepare for a fight with Tai Lung and having just his name cause fear. But with that, we've reached the end of today's video. Before you head off, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I hope you managed to get something out of this. The stat block for Tai Lung is available on D&D Beyond for free, and the link to it is in the description. I hope you all have a great day, and may your dice roll favourably. Goodbye for now.